Which Darth Vader figure should you buy? Part 2. I picked up 4 more Darth Vader figures, including Walgreens exclusive Hasbro Emperor's Wrath Darth Vader, Disney Store exclusive Elite Series Darth Vader, Revoltech Darth Vader, and Mafex Darth Vader. A lot of these were recommended by viewers of my original Which Darth Vader figure should you buy? So let's check this out. Will we get a definitive Darth Vader figure this time around? So let's check out the packaging. This is the Elite version, the Disney Store exclusive, and I think it's really nice with the gray, almost steel looking tone with red highlights. But personally, it's not my favorite design. It still looks good. You can definitely see Darth Vader inside with his one accessory, his lightsaber. The Walgreens exclusive continues the trend of including only one accessory, the lightsaber, and it also continues the red and another color, which is black, not silver. I think this is a nice package, nice artwork, nice design, but for me, it's not my favorite yet again. Overall though, I think this is great, and if you have other Black Series figures, it'll flow with it. Then what could be my favorite is the Mafex Darth Vader. I think this is a really fun packaging design. It really reads like playable, something you want to take out and play with. It's a bit childish with the colors, but in a good way, a youthfulness. I do love the orange and black tones. It reminds me of the designs that they had for Star Wars figures a little while back, a couple years ago, and I think it works well with the Darth Vader. And as usual, behind him is the color red. And the Revoltech, which features very futuristic design. I actually really like this one. For me, my favorite could be this or the Mafex. I haven't really decided, but this one is futuristic, shows cool type faces, black and white. It's looks good on the eye. It looks good as a collectible. So let's kick off this comparison with the Revoltech Darth Vader. Now I'm gonna just say this right off the bat. This, I think, is one of the most disappointing Revoltechs I've ever purchased. I have a few. I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have the Boba Fett. The Boba Fett is hands down my favorite Boba Fett figure ever, but this is just leaving me disappointed. The cape is so heavy, he just falls right down every time I try and get him to stand straight. This was the only way I could get him to stand straight. I tried to remove his hand so that I could put his lightsaber in, and the peg came out. That's going to need to be put into water before I can swap his actual hands. And check this out, his hand, his whole arm came off, which is going to be really difficult to put back in. And if I didn't buy this from a reputable seller, I would have right away thought that this was a bootleg, but it's not. The dome is gorgeous though, and the paint application is really nice. I'm just really disappointed that it's so heavy, leading it to fall, leading it to get scratches and whatnot on the cape, because it is so heavy and really difficult to get in a standing position. So this is not going to be my recommendation for a Darth Vader figure. It's super flawed, and honestly, I'm really disappointed in it because I really like Revoltech. It does feature some cool playability features, like taking off the top of his helmet so that you can see the back of his head. Ugh. And he also comes with 4 extra hands, but as I showed you, it's really difficult to swap the hands on mine, and it comes with a lightsaber hilt and a lightsaber itself, but unfortunately I can't show you those right now in his hand because he's... Here you go though. I wish I could have showed you them on him, but alas, this guy is not worth the money. I really don't like it. Next up is the Elite Darth Vader, and this, when you hold this guy in your hand, it feels so good, probably because he's made out of metal mostly. He does have his lightsaber, which is crazy long, right? That's so long. He is a bit taller than everyone else we're going to talk about today, and personally, for me, I think it looks nice, but if you're getting a 12th scale-esque size figure, you want something that can move well, can do really cool poses. This looks good like this, but if you want a pose that is going to stick forever, just get a Kotobukiya Darth Vader. This guy does have articulation, but not enough to really make him do any poses that you wouldn't get from just a basic Kotobukiya standing up straight. Like, would you really have Darth Vader pose like that? Maybe. Maybe you would, actually. So maybe this has 2 poses that you can do. Multiple, I don't know. But for me, I'm really not digging it as much as I could because the articulation really inhibits you from doing cool things. Also, the dome, I think it's all right. It's super glossy, maybe a bit too glossy, but that it feels like it's one of the few plastic portions of this Vader. The paint is nice, probably not the best paint we're going to see today, but overall, I don't think that this is going to be my recommendation. It's not as bad as the Revoltech, but it's certainly not magic. Get it, Disney? Magic? That was awful. Next up is a customized Walgreens exclusive Black Series Emperor's Wrath Darth Vader. This is just a quick painting the dome black that I did. It's a little messy, a little sloppy. It got a little dirty when I dropped it on the floor. My bad. But it's just a quick custom fig hack so you can see the possibilities that this one holds. A quick comparison to the original Black Series Darth Vader reveals that this dome is way, way, way better. The articulation is totally the same, but I really like this new dome. It comes with a bonus accessory as the lightsaber, which it should, and it has so much cloth, so much soft goods. And also a new thing he has that the original didn't is he has a little weight to the corners of his cape. Do you like that? Do you hate that? I don't know. I think it's nice. Personally, for me, I think this is, if you can find it for 20 bucks and have some black and silver paint around and can quickly do that, maybe a little varnish to give it a little gloss, I think this is fantastic. Honestly, way better than the original Darth Vader. I wish they actually gave us this dome instead of the removable dome with the head underneath, because this looks really nice, and this looks like a really cool Darth Vader. Articulation is fantastic on this guy because it is Black Series, so there's a lot you can do with the articulation. And as I said before, if you can find this, I totally recommend it. I've heard some people talk about breakage with these figures. I haven't had that myself, so I hope it doesn't happen to you, and I hope it's not like the Revoltech. The thing about the Revoltech though is that is fixable. But do you really want to be dealing with something that just falls apart as you try and switch the hands, you know? Yo, but then last, but probably not least, it's the Mafex Vader. Look at all these accessories. This guy definitely wins in the accessory department and comes with this nice base so you can stand him up cool. This is the figure that sparked doing a part 2 of which Darth Vader figure should you buy, because so many people said that this was the best. Is he the best? Let's check it out. Before I really start the review, one thing I want to note with this figure is that it feels so nice when you move the articulation. It's just so smooth, so clean, if that's even the right word, but it just really nice, and probably the best articulation on any of the figures I've felt. The best articulation to move in any of the Darth Vader figures I've done in any of these. Which Darth Vader figure should you buy? I think it's even better than the Figuarts, which is crazy, right? So here he is, the Mafex Vader, and I have to say I'm a little let down with this figure. People really hyped it up for me, but as I look at it, he looks super thin, super tall. Like, he is tall, but I think I'd prefer a little more bulk on this guy. The cape is nice, it is cloth, and is it better than the Hasbro one? Depends on if you want it bunched up or if you want it nice and clean and straight. The hands are great, so you can switch out and do a bunch of Vader hands. The helmet, I'm not really so sure what I think it's too big. The dome portion, it's too large, and the face is too small. He is so oddly proportioned, but he has such good articulation. Also, this portion looks like it's yellowed. Overall, I'm just seeing like a super skinny guy cosplaying as Darth Vader when I look at this figure. People said that it's the best Darth Vader figure out there. Is it really? Not in my eyes. It is beautifully articulated though. You have so many points and it feels so great to move him. I was really nervous because I picked up one of the Dark Knight Rises Batman figures and his head just literally broke off as I was trying to articulate it. But this seems like they've done a much better job and everything moves so well. And I do like how they used this portion as plastic instead of fabric like Hasbro did. So personally for me, which Darth Vader figure should you buy from part 2? The Emperor's Wrath. because it's really good once you paint it, but that takes a little time, a little money. I really like the bulk, and I really like how good the sculpt is. And it's 20 bucks, and Mafex is like double that price. So I'm going to give this my recommendation. Is it as good as the Bandai model? My Bandai model is still unpainted, my bad, but I really think that the Bandai model is one of the best Darth Vader figures on the market. And it's kind of interesting to see that the best two, in my opinion, are some that you need to do a little work with, a little DIY, because I don't think there is a great Darth Vader right out of the package. I think you need to do a little work to make one your own. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do you have different opinions? I'm sure you do. This is an opinion piece, so let me know which Darth Vader you think is best, and let me know where you think I'm wrong. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. I have Stormtroopers coming up. I'm not going to do a Boba Fett because there's so many different Boba Fetts, especially between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but there will be a Captain Phasma, Kylo Ren, and etc. in the future. Hope you enjoyed this video.